Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. 24 hours late, but we're here. This is the show that was scheduled to go yesterday live. And here we are, but StreamYard just decided that we're not going to do a show yesterday. Someone said, big up Mo, you're late. Yeah, I'm 24 hours late. But hit that like button, people, because listen, this stream is kind of unique and special. And I'm not sure if the algorithms are pushing this stream. So hit that like button. If you can spam in the comments that Judge Mo is live, that would be great. So at least YouTube will know that this stream is still alive, because this was scheduled, I think, like 36 hours from now, like before. So hit that like button. There's a lot to talk about. Florian Wirtz is a £100 million player. Ryan Cherky, who has more pressure on him. There is Chelsea, who actually are going to go with Delap and Jackson next season until they see in the Club World Cup what is going to happen. And Arsenal are actually doing madness when they actually signed 2 strikers. Everyone that cried, everyone that said that Arsenal are slow, no, Arsenal do something. Arsenal might sign 2 strikers and suddenly become favorites to win the league. If that happened, of course. So, and Man United have signed Cunha, and they're actually going to have they're going to be hijacked by Mbuemo. But we got a great panel for you, Ram, in the middle. I'm just going to move you to the side a little bit.
Wow.
We got Kilk. We got my man Ahmed is here. And Martin, who I haven't streamed with for a while now. And Couch Critics, great guy, talks about Chelsea, fantastic. And Matthias, who's in Hamza's room for some whatever reason. How's everyone doing?
At least he left the tub.
Window, like the window opened and closed.
I'm going back.
Season is over. Season is over.
Yeah, man's good, bro. Man's good.
How are you good, you fraud? You lost the Europa League final. You are 16th. Tottenham are about to take your target. How are you good?
Listen.
Oh, I forgot you support PSG, who beat Inter 5-0.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, bro, your trophy. You know, Man United's trophy this season, I'm being serious, is Arsenal not winning any trophy. And the majority of my viewers from Man United, their trophy is Inter losing 5-0. This is their season in a nutshell.
Well, Mo, they finished.
What relevance does that have?
They didn't win anything. Like, come on, they lost against Tottenham in the final. Like, this is bad. This is bad.
They lost to one
club is so full of shame. Like, Ahmed, I don't say this a lot. I feel sorry for you, bro.
Well, I feel sorry that your homegrown. Listen, all I'm saying, yeah, you'll maybe see one of our players, yeah, through the youth learning Spanish for a whole season, innit? Yeah, he's been plotting that move for the
Oh,
longest,
boy.
isn't he?
Hey,
Listen, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, let's go to the football.
My club, bro.
Martin is going to go in a bit. But listen, I want to start with Arsenal. Like the target striker, Gyokeres and Cisco, and still people are complaining, even though Arsenal put in an official bid, right, for Gyokeres, and they actually negotiating Cisco's price. I actually think that Arsenal, they were targeting Isak. That's my opinion, by the way. That is not Mo speaking out of being a journalist, right? And I released a video this morning, and I got a lot of people getting triggered in the chat, like right away in the comment section. I said Arsenal were after Isak, okay? And now, because Isak is not there, they are negotiating 2 strikers. No one is in for Gyokeres other than Man United. They are in for Cisco. Can Arsenal get both with the same money that they were going to pay for Isak? Is that something that anybody sees?
Well, first of all, Mo, I really like how you've been putting this out into the universe because, one, I remember you weren't a big fan of Sesko and you thought that he was a joke signing. So you seem to have come around on that. And 2, I've been saying both for like 6 months now. And I think that the advantages of no one else having Gyokeres would be fantastic, combining him with the differences with Sesko. If we can get both of those guys, then we're absolute cooking. I'm not that impressed by the amount of left-wing options that are going on right now. It's all a bit of a muchness, really. So, yeah, if we can get 2 strikers, I'm down. Let's
people, even if you get 2 strikers, people are not going to put you as favorites to win the league.
I don't know if there's anyone we can buy that'll change that.
Someone commented on my video this morning. And by the way, guys, this is an open floor. We're 8 people.
Brady Bunch panel. Let's get one more person on.
Yeah. No, this is good enough. 8 is good enough. Someone told me, no matter what Arsenal do, they won't win the league. Seriously, bro. Like they put it emphatically as flawless. It's never gonna happen, bro. Like,
well, why is
no
that?
matter what Arsenal do,
Right now. No matter what anyone else does, they're the clear favorites.
What?
Sign Florian Wirtz, record signing.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know what you said. I was like, what?
I said Liverpool are the clear favorites for the league. They just signed Florian Wirtz.
No, that's not
record signing.
I think when it
doesn't matter what Arsenal do.
I think when it comes to Arsenal, first of all, I don't see them signing 2 strikers. However, I think they will sign a number 9, and whether it's Gyokeres or Sesko, it remains to be seen. But when you watch Arsenal, I feel like they miss more than what a number 9. And when everyone talk about, oh, we need to sign a left winger, but they also forget that they also need to sign a right winger because they've lost Bukayo Saka for a number of games, and he's got a massive scar. And he's a player where the manager have to look at it and manage his minutes next season, because the worst thing that you want to do is play Bukayo Saka every single minute of Premier League game. And if you look at his midfield, it was weird because when they signed Marino, it was a bit strange because he put him in midfield and never worked. He put him up front. He actually started showing his quality.
Actually, that's false a little bit. No one said it never worked. Who said it never worked?
I don't think he worked more in the midfield. I think he worked up front, but I don't think he really worked the midfield. He faced the same situations that with Kai Havertz, because he tried to obviously replace Granit Xhaka. When Arsenal, I think 2022-2023, they had a very good team that was balanced both sides. When Granit Xhaka got left to Leverkusen, they become a one-sided team. Everything was going towards the right on Bukayo Saka because Odegaard was a player who was playing left, right eight, and he's a player who plays next to Saka all the time. And people were having a go at Martinelli. Oh, he missed Saka, but the manager went out there and bought Kai Havertz to play that position. Obviously, Kai Havertz didn't work. He stick him up front. But then in the next transfer window, he bought Marino.
Because it's much easier to play up front. You're a Man City fan. Correct. Yeah. I know, Matthias. I know you. Tell me one player in the midfield of Man City, in the history of Pep Guardiola during his 8 years, that came in and it worked right away. One player, I need one player. I need one name that it worked right away.
Well, there's quite a lot of them. Leroy Sané worked.
No, a midfielder. A midfielder.
Bernardo Silva did.
No, Bernardo Silva was playing as a winger when he first joined the
He
City.
started as a winger in
Well,
2017.
He actually transferred to the middle later, actually, in City. No midfielder.
Yeah.
But the point is, no midfielder under Pep Guardiola. Rodri struggled in the beginning.
No,
I watched him live.
Rodri,
I
yeah.
watched him.
Rodri was not good that first season.
I watched him live.
Mm.
I watched him live under Pep Guardiola. The point
Yeah.
because people are asking.
No, Mo, you
Let me just
know
finish
what?
the point. Let me finish the point. Because the people that don't know where I'm going with this.
Mm.
People are asking Arsenal to sign a midfielder in a very complex midfield, right? In a very complex formation. But they're asking that midfielder to come in and work right away and the signing to be the perfect signing. However, that leeway, like McAllister in the first season, Gravenberch in the first season, Szoboszlai in the first season, Rodri. McAllister. But we saw that. Hold on. Let me finish, Matthias, please. Please, let me finish. Let me finish the point. Because it's the point that I'm making is that there is no, in a complex formation, it is very hard for a midfielder to come in from a different league specifically and work right away in the Premier League. Even the best manager in the world at the current moment, Pep Guardiola, takes time for him to embed midfielders in the league. There is an easy way to do it. You ask the midfielder to run.
I agree.
Hold on.
However,
I actually say that the only midfielder I have watched lately in the Premier League that came in and from game one hit the ground running for a top team with a complex formation is Declan Rice. But I think that was because he was coming from the Premier League. But nobody came from outside.
I agree, Mo. I agree. However, there's a difference between Man City and Arsenal. When you go with Arsenal, after being in the title race and after being 8 points lead, and let's face it, they bought 8-point leads, your next transfer window, you have to get it right. When we went out there and bought Gundo, Rodri, we had a set midfielder in terms of Fernandinho, David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. We won back-to-back league title. So any midfielder that we were brought in, we kind of have that time for them to settle in. At Arsenal is a bit different. Let's say, for example, they go out there and buy a striker. You cannot go buy a striker and say, "Oh, given
strikers are different.
Years.
Strikers work right away.
No.
Haaland work right away.
I get it.
Haaland's like one of the best strikers in the world.
Yeah, but the thing about it, that Matthias wants.
Is this a Man City Glaze session or what?
But that's what
I thought we were talking about Arsenal, man. What happened?
Everyone that is talking about David Silva, I am talking about Pep Guardiola signing
already there.
Exactly. David Silva was already at the club before Pep Guardiola. You know what I mean? My point about this is that
Patrick said Gundogan was injured when he showed
I don't want to
up.
talk about last season. I want to get other people's points as well, because I actually think this is a point that is always taken against Arsenal. I actually have to say, start of last season, that season that finished, Arsenal had a very good midfield. And my evidence was they literally won 16 out of the last 18 games. They took Man City down to the wire. So
the league is 38 games, not 16.
Yeah, but they got that. Yeah, but they got the midfield to work at the end. That is the whole point. At the point, let me tell you. Let me give you an example. Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo and Cole Palmer, towards the end of the season, you can say that finally Enzo Maresca has figured out a way to put them together to make them look very functional in comparison with the beginning of the season. So people build midfielders, right? Especially coaches, the hardest job to do. You can ask a winger to come in, give the ball to the winger, try to dribble and go at defenders. In the midfield, it is very complex to make it work, right? And that is why Arsenal had a good midfield. And then starting the season, Moreno was people actually have to remember that Moreno actually missed 2.5 months with a broken shoulder from August until August. But everyone forgets that. Like, the guy had a broken shoulder. That means he couldn't train with them. He couldn't actually do all the drills with them because it's a broken shoulder. He came in the middle of the season. I didn't think he did that bad. He wasn't horrific. There are people that I have to say horrific. No, I want to get other people's opinion as well.
No, just a quick question.
You can ask them a question.
Just one. Do you know when you said Arsenal have got a very good midfield. I agree. However, can I just ask a question to the Arsenal fan? Do you think you should sign? Do you think you should sign a midfielder this season? Consider that, according to Judge Moore, you've got a very good midfield.
Well, I'll take it because Olu, he's also an Arsenal fan. But I think Mo's making a very good point there that kind of assessment happened with Havertz, and people's like, oh, look, you moved him up front, and all of a sudden he's a better player. But that happened halfway through the season where he had some time to like actually gel in. So you don't know if he stayed more in midfield, if he would have been more effective. But we saw when Arteta's signing these players, he wants them to not just be comfortable with the position they came in at, like Rice. He wants you to be an 8. You think you're a 6, you're an 8 now. If you have it, so you think you're an 8, you're going to be striker. You're going to be second striker. Ooh. So everyone has to perform at least 2 roles in this team and be able to change positions and not lose a step. So I don't think we need a midfielder for getting Zubimendi and keeping Partey. But if we lose Partey, then I think we potentially do. We do need to have a place for Max Dowman, maybe to get some minutes in midfield, and Wanyeri to get some minutes in midfield, who's potentially Saka's backup and Odegaard's backup. So we've got to manage the youth players that we've got integrated and make sure that they're not just stamped out by new signings like Miles Lewis-Skelly, for example, who's earned his spot.
I think the Declan Rice example is, I wouldn't say is a great example because normally a 6 and 8 can interchange. It's very, very similar acting as a box-to-box 8 and almost as a 6 because they still have qualities that you need to do both. Especially a double pivot 6. You either have a sitter and you have a box-to-box, more or less, going between each box, driving with the ball. It's a very, very similar kind of thing.
But not what we were asking him to do. We're asking him to crash the box and almost be the striker. Like, it's a completely different role to what he was used to playing at West Ham. So I'm just saying, you come in, you have to adapt, you have to change, get outside your comfort zone and perform multiple positions. So
where do you think where do you think is his best position?
Rice?
Yeah.
I would say his best position is 8. I think he's wasted as a 6 against, unless you're up against someone who's really going to be on you the whole game, like a PSG or something, then move him back.
Your manager misprofiled another player.
PSG ran circles around.
What do you mean? Sorry, wait, hold up. What do you mean misprofiled another player?
So he misprofiled another player.
Explain it. No. See,
the guy was brought in, yeah.
He said when he came in that
Declan Rice was brought in because he was playing in a double pivot, with Soucek. I remember at West Ham. He was playing in a double pivot. He was playing in a defensive side for West Ham. And then you guys bought him to be your number 6. Arteta himself said that he wants a holding midfielder who can pass between the lines, who can also drive with the ball, who's composed, he's got a good touch on him. He wants all these aspects of a midfielder. So you guys started to play Declan Rice further up the pitch. He's got a decent strike on him. He's not a number 6. He struggles to play in that position. If you compare him to the likes of Rodri, Zubimendi's a better 6. Thomas Partey is your best number 6 in this team. Hence why you're going to go for a Zubimendi and play Declan Rice further forward. So it's literally
you need someone to hold his hand.
Can I respond? Yeah. Can I respond to you? So that's great, right? Now I can go and check what Arteta actually said and what Declan Rice actually said, because when he came in, he said when he came in, yes, Arteta wanted to do something different to what he had done previously, right? But you saying he's misprofiled. I'm sorry. No player just comes from another team and gets dropped into the same system they played in before, right? If you sign a player from Mallorca, he's not going to be playing what he was playing in Mallorca.
West Ham's system is not the same as Arsenal's.
Exactly. That's my point I'm trying to make. Of course, when you sign players, managers have got an idea of what they want to do with a player, which might not be the exact system they played in. So this idea of misprofiling makes no sense because it all comes down to the tactical approach of the manager, right? And when it comes down to Declan Rice is best attribute is carrying the ball forward and back, right? And so Arteta puts him in that place. But also, I always say this, go and listen to professional football players when they talk about playing other teams, right? And I've sent Mo this clip before. You listen to Ola Aina, right? He says the difference between playing Arsenal like Liverpool and Man City, and he says with Arsenal, they're constantly moving. So the idea of again, I always go back to when Arteta said that thing about he played, was it 45 or 46 formations, and everyone thought it was crazy. And it is crazy because there's not 46 formations. However, the idea is that players move around. So if you think a player is just a 6, 8, and 10 in that system, I don't think that exists in Arsenal system. I think it comes from the idea of all the way going back to Cruyff, where players have to be flexible and be able to interchange. So don't think of it as a set system, a set formation as you see in FIFA, you see in Football Manager. Think of it as actually players are going to be asked to do things different.
Do you think that he got moved into that number 8 because Thomas Partey is still your best holding midfielder?
That's I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm not.
Answer's yes.
But no, but I'll tell you what. So the start of the season, remember he dropped Gabriel, played Thomas Partey on the right hand side as a right winger, right?
Yeah.
He played him there and played Jorginho next to him, and he's tried different things. I think he puts Rice on the pitch because Rice can cover the most ground more than anyone else in our team, right? So I think it's not about him being a 6; it's about his function on the pitch and being able to carry the ball. Because again, he's probably the only midfielder that can carry the ball over long distances in our team, and so he has to put him in there for a specific reason. And I think obviously there's a formation evolution from what we were on the Xhaka to now what it is on the right. So I can't give you the answer directly because again, I don't know the tactical breakdowns. I'm not that much of a tactical.
No, but you as a football fan and an Arsenal fan, do you agree that Declan Rice is your best holding midfielder?
He hasn't played enough for us in the holding midfielder for me to say that. I'll say Partey plays majority of that. So in that
no, not Declan Rice. Sorry, I meant Thomas Partey. Sorry.
Yeah, but Partey plays most of it there.
Yeah, but he's your holding midfielder. So that means that if he's your holding midfielder, then when you sign a player for £100 million, then you have to find a way to put that player on the pitch. So that's why he tried to. I think Declan. I agree with you when you say that Declan Rice is best position number 8. I think he's been doing a brilliant job in there. Don't get me wrong. And I feel like with Partey, I feel you play better when Partey is at the center of that midfield. Obviously, Declan Rice.
Can we not Thomas? Can we not? I don't think Declan Rice is going to play at the 6 now. I think it's going to be Zubimendi. So I think we need to move past that point. They are signing Zubimendi to play the 6. Declan Rice has done a good job in the 8, and he actually has done a very, very good job in that role. They have Zubimendi to control from deep. They have Martin Odegaard as the attack in mid, and they have Declan Rice as the 8 that crashes the box and run around and maybe be another defensive midfielder we need to be. I think that's a pretty good midfield.
So you're basically saying he's not good enough to play in the 6, pretty much.
I actually think.
Relax.
I'm going to answer him. Let me answer him. I actually think Declan Rice can play in a 6 very good as well.
There's one thing they're playing in a 6.
Let me ask you. I actually think Declan Rice can be an amazing number 6. One of the best in the world because of how athletic he is and how good of a tackler he is and how much ground he can cover. Let me tell you the difference. Not every number 6 in the world need to be the guy that gets on the ball and dictates the game. There are a lot of number 6s that we have seen in the history that are just breakers, and actually their best attribute is actually stop the opposition rather than pass the ball. I'm going to give you an example, and people are not going to. Fernandinho, for example, at Manchester City, because Pep Guardiola.
He's elite.
Let me finish.
We're talking about the top echelon.
He's elite at what?
Fernandinho. We're talking about
Fernandinho. Here is the thing. Fernandinho. And let me tell you something. I actually think Declan Rice has more to his game, has more attributes than Fernandinho. And let me explain it to you before you actually do these faces and stuff like this. Footballing terms, right? Fernandinho was coached under the best coach to actually create 6s, right? The way he coached Rodri, the way he coached Busquets. This guy is elite in actually making a player understand the game. He moved Fernandinho. I remember Man City when Fernandinho and Fernando used to be at that club. And they used to be, good players. They tackle a lot. Pep Guardiola took Fernandinho to the next level. He taught him, you don't need to do all this work. You can pass the ball right and left, and you can actually be the breaker. Fernandinho, I want to give you now why I think Declan Rice has more to his game. If he is coached under Pep Guardiola, he'll be elite, right? Because Declan Rice is quicker than Fernandinho. Do Man City fans agree with this or no?
I disagree. Fernandinho was always
no.
Even when he signed to Man City. Fernandinho was at the heart of our midfield when he was signed.
Matthias, I don't want you to go. I ask specific questions because I'm answering him. I'm not dissing Fernandinho. He ended the career very well. He won multiple trophies.
He's better than Declan Rice.
You see, I asked a specific question. People don't want to answer that question.
Levels to this game.
No. You don't want to answer that question. You don't want to answer the question. I asked a specific question, not to this Fernandinho.
What's the question?
Maybe I asked someone else. Couch. You watch the Premier League. Hold on, Matthias, now, because you don't want to answer the question. Couch.
No, what's the question?
Hold on. No. I'm going to ask someone else. You literally just didn't want to answer the question.
No, what's the question? I can't. What are you saying?
Someone else. Couch, is Declan Rice faster, quicker than Fernandinho.
Is he faster?
No.
I thought Fernando was way faster.
I don't to be honest.
I covered so much ground. It was ridiculous.
No.
Covering ground.
But nah, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say.
I covered a lot of ground. You're just forgetting prime Ferna.
You're having a stinker right
to be
now.
real,
I think Declan Rice is a.
People are gonna tell me that Fernandinho.
Well, maybe Fernandinho at 36, but like Fernandinho in his prime. I don't know.
Yeah, like when we signed him at age 28,
you guys don't understand.
Then, you know,
you guys are not getting the point. You guys are not getting the point.
No, I get it. I get the point. No, I get the point.
People are not getting the point. Fabinho, for example, is not faster than Rice, but because he was coached under Pep Guardiola, under Jurgen Klopp, he developed other aspects of his game. My point about this is that Declan Rice can be an elite 6 if you have around him 2 players like a Kevin De Bruyne, like an Enzo Fernandez, like someone an elite level around him that he doesn't need to do a lot of work on the ball. You can get the ball to the next level. Casemiro, for example, our example for Real Madrid, he wasn't asked. That is very true. He wasn't asked to do any job other than just get the ball, distribute to the closest guy. And every now and then go forward and have a shot, crash the box and do stuff like this. The people that were asked to dictate the game were Modric and freaking Toni Kroos. You aren't going to tell me that the line-breaking passes will come from Casemiro, right?
And then, but then Casemiro, the thing is, Casemiro had Toni Kroos and he also had, like you said, Luka Modric. One controller and one generational player in Modric in it. So he had 2 of the elites. Casemiro was never asked to do anything because he didn't need to. He still played for that long year because he possessed skills. He possessed a high level of skills to be able to play at a consistent level. Because, like I said,
what is his high level of skills? This is like vague word.
He is an elite ball winner. An elite ball winner, by the way.
You don't think he's an elite ball winner?
No, not to the level of Casemiro, not to the level of N'Golo
Declan Rice is not an elite ball winner.
He's not at the level yet.
I think Judge Mo. I think
he doesn't cover more ground than a lot of people.
Whenever you talk about
Fernandinho, covering ground with speed.
I feel like whenever you talk about
Fernandinho,
people actually that want to just not talk about Declan Rice and what he has are just really blinding themselves. You're blinding yourself of what the guy has.
Declan Rice is not at the level of Fernandinho.
And I never
said forget it. Judge Mo, forget it. Fernandinho, at the peak of his game, he was the best ever. Like the best.
Ever.
Forget it.
Ever?
The best DM ever.
Not ever, but he was pretty damn good.
No, he was the best.
He was the best DM ever.
No.
I'm gonna smoke this booty.
Whenever you talk about Fernandinho,
until Roger won the Ballon d'Or, there was still a debate.
I'm sorry, he's not even the best DM that we've seen in the Premier League.
Stop. Fernandinho cannot lace a boot to Makelele. Claude Makelele was the best ever DM to ever touch the pitch, right? There's a reason why it was called the Makelele role. He transformed what a DM was. He played for Real Madrid when all they had was 8 attackers and he was the only person defending, right?
Oh, don't do that. Don't disrespect Hierro, bro.
No. I said 8 players attacking, which is it was him and the 2 central midfield and the 2 central defenders. Everyone else was attacking. On the right hand side, Salgado. Left hand side, Roberto Carlos. Right, Zidane, Guti, Raul, Fernando Morientes. All these players were just attacking.
I mean, this isn't even debatable.
Let me just
say something real quick.
Sorry, guys.
We're going to Martin here. One last point, Martin.
I'm sorry, everyone. No. I need to run my show. Martin, make your point, please.
Okay, I'm sorry I mentioned Rice around Ahmed. I forgot that it's a trigger word. He was used as a reference to a player. No. That it needs to be flexible within the team, and I think that shapes what signings we should get going forward because we're too predictable. Over the years now, Arteta is going to have to reinvent himself for us to be able to achieve that level again, and so we need to play in different kind of ways, which is like signing a player like Sesko or Gyokeres that's going to break the line, give us another option on getting out from the press, play more counter-attacking, find goals in other spaces which we haven't already mined for. So that's the point. Like every player that comes in needs to play at least one position, maybe 2. Like Sesko, he's playing wide right now for Leipzig. He might need to do that for us sometimes. players are just going to have to play all over the place.
I
don't want to get into
question.
Fernandinho versus Rice, but that's
I got one question for the Arsenal supporters. When you guys purchased Rice, what was the role that you envisioned for him as supporters? Because I was under the impression that he was.
They said he's the best six, bro. That's what they say.
I thought he was supposed to replace. He was supposed to be replacing.
He's better than Rodri.
Martin.
Smart.
Like, just be honest. Like, where did you envision him in the side?
Listen, now you guys are gonna laugh, and this is gonna turn the whole stream upside down. But someone
Martin's
here,
like, I'm out.
someone here said basically he plays like Roy Keane.
Who?
Right? I'm not saying the person. The person might be wearing a pink shirt right now, but he said he plays like Roy Keane because he drives with the ball up and down. Yes, that was me. So basically, what I'm saying is that when he came to Arsenal, what I thought he was going to be was a player who just drives with the ball. So it wasn't his DM role. I don't understand where people get this idea he was meant to be a DM. I think because he plays something at West Ham doesn't necessarily mean
you wanted him for a role that you never seen him play. Then,
bro, no. I thought his best attributes when I watched him play for West Ham was him carrying the ball over long distances, right? And I think people underrated that. I'm not saying he was skillful, but what he was good at is taking long strides with the ball and driving the ball from back to front. You could watch a lot of him playing.
So you spent that much just for him to go from A to Z.
See a guy in a role that you haven't seen him play before.
And so now, no.
See, he was clearly bought to play number 6. Let's just be real. He was bought to
I think he wanted to take his ball-winning ability and move it up the pitch so that we're winning the ball higher up, creating those options from turnovers. And that's what Rice has been really good at, is just showing up at 100 miles an hour, winning the ball, and giving us a chance on goal we wouldn't have had otherwise. He's wasted.
The thing is, bro, hold on, just 2 seconds, yeah? The thing is, winning the ball back here, you can literally go and scout anywhere in the country to get a player who's going to do his job and just win the ball back here. When you spend that extortionate amount of money, yeah, because I remember when United went and bought Pogba for 90 mil, he was expected to do everything. Enzo Fernandez as well, and when he's at Chelsea, they were on to him. He's expected to do loads, innit? I'm saying, yeah, whenever there's a massive price tag with other players, they're expected to do a lot more. Even when they do have good performances, they
you
still
have
get
the same for Caicedo. What is Caicedo?
Caicedo is not. Listen, I'll tell you what it is with Caicedo. Yeah, he's not worth the money. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, he ain't worth the money, but he's a very good player. He's a very.
He ain't worth the money.
He ain't worth the money. But the thing is,
record at the time.
No, but he's not worth the money. Listen, there's no player right now.
160.
No, but he's a very, very good player.
Well, he's also taking all of our corners, set
That's the
pieces,
difference.
scoring these goals that he wasn't scoring before. Like, he's changed his game completely from what we saw at West Ham. And I don't think Rice is very good on the ball under pressure. I don't want him with like his back to the opposition goal, like passing backwards and around, looking over his shoulders, that kind of stuff. I want him breaking straight through and being more physical. They call him the horse in training, and that's pretty much what I expected him, is to be every blade of grass.
That's not a compliment.
Well, it's a joke from Zinchenko, but you hate this guy,
Oh,
so
God.
you know the disgust on your face is obvious.
There's no disgust. I'm just saying,
you just said you could go and find a Rice anywhere in the leagues, like just up and down the leagues. Like,
no, but like in terms of just winning the ball back here, like you don't spend like 100+ mil or just win me the ball back, please, and carry the ball. But that's a basic. That's not an elite level skill yet. Like you can get that from any Premier League competent midfielder who can just win the ball.
Your greatest midfielder is Roy Keane, and he was the best.
Roy Keane, who had very, very good line breaking passes as well. Very, very good line breaking passes. His reading of the game. His reading of the game, Roy Keane, was solid. Roy Keane's image is getting tarnished because people think he's this aggressive guy. That's it.
My G, you're too young to even watch Roy Keane. I watched Roy Keane.
You don't know Roy Keane, and you've watched him. That's worse.
What are you talking about?
You've watched Roy Keane. You've watched Roy Keane more than me, and I know about Roy Keane more than you.
No, you don't.
You just said that. Oh, Declan Rice bought him.
Never mind. This is a waste of time.
If I can I have my 6 pence? Look, I don't personally rate Rice at that level. I've always said he's
you have an agenda.
A lot of like Jordan Henderson, the way he drives at the ball and everything. However, the disrespect that he gets from a lot of rival fans, because I personally think he starts for probably every single club in the Premier League. A couple of teams in
he doesn't start for Man United. Casemiro's better than him.
Wallahi, I wouldn't take him.
Wallahi, I just I'm telling you what was going to be said on the stream before it's said.
Wouldn't take him.
That's just ridiculous.
He doesn't start.
When I hear stuff like that, it's ridiculous.
He doesn't start for Liverpool, Chelsea, and City.
Club number 15
for Chelsea.
He does
He
start.
definitely doesn't start for Chelsea.
And he does start for
I don't know,
Chelsea.
man.
No, he doesn't.
Doesn't
Johnny
start-
Rangers, he might not start at Man City.
Chelsea have better midfielders. Liverpool have better
Club number
midfielders.
15 in the league
Is
will
who's
not
he
start
starting for Chelsea?
the best.
Our
Will
DM is
not
not
start.
even
Okay,
DM right
hold
now,
on.
man.
Let me put the
Who's he
Start him
statement.
over
Hold on,
Enzo.
guys. Let me put the statement out that was said. Let me translate what Ahmed
Come on,
said
Rams.
to a statement. Let me translate what Ahmed said to a statement. The club number 15 in the league will not have the men's player of the year for the club that finished second to start for them. That is exactly what Ahmed said.
If we're flexing awards,
A
then
men's player of the year.
He actually, Declan Rice has won Arsenal's men's players of the year this season. Club
Not
number
just that.
15
Weird way
in
to
the
say
league,
it.
club
What are you
number
talking
15
about?
in the league will not start that guy.
Not
They
just that.
won't
Not just
pick that guy.
Ahmed, Mo,
that
Mo,
doesn't
add
mean,
in
that doesn't mean anything
twice.
to me, bro.
Twice
Doesn't
been voted. Twice been voted into the.
He
into
can be
the
voted
players'
100 times. I still wouldn't
into the
take it.
team of the year. Exactly. So his peers will see him and go, "Oh, this guy. We actually
my eyes
think
don't lie to me.
Hey,
I don't want to turn this into a Declan Rice. I don't want to turn this into a Declan Rice
It
thing.
already is.
No, wait.
Jess, call
wanna
Jess
turn
up.
this-
She'll get in on this.
Let me say one thing. It's interesting that a player's peers would actually vote him and say, "Actually, we think this player is this good," but then we would argue and go, "We don't think this player is this good," and there's players who in the 15 position in position 15 who are just as good as them. So we're saying that we're better than we can see better than the players who play against these guys on a week-to-week basis and vote them into the team. That's what we're saying at this point. The arrogance sometimes of fans is crazy.
Where's my?
Now, I want to have I want to go back to Ahmed said something in the beginning, and I want to get the rest of the panel's opinion, especially Martin, before he goes to actually do his thing. Ahmed's agenda: misery loves company. United fans, big up my man. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the actual first super chat, guys. 600 people in the house, and we don't even have 200 likes, guys. I'm telling you, this show is struggling with numbers because it was scheduled early. Hit that like button, people. Come on, like the video underneath the live
You
chat.
can blame Google.
Ahmed, when I asked you that Arsenal, if they signed, because actually, Wallah al-Azim, I'm not lying, okay? The reports are saying that Arsenal, and I'm not a reporter. I just read the news every morning, right? I don't know anybody. I'm not an ITK.
ITK Mo.
I'm not an ITK. That people tell me, Mo, what is your source? That my source is a news on
What
Twitter.
are you going to
just
say?
like
I'm
you.
confused. What are you going to say?
Arsenal have put in a bid for Gyokeres. I'm just giving you scenarios, right?
Yeah.
That bid was rejected. It was 49 million pounds, right? Gyokeres had an agreement to leave for 59 million pounds total package.
Yeah.
There are two clubs that are in for him, Arsenal and Man United. Reports this morning are saying that Arsenal are going to go in for an increased bid. His agent 2 hours ago said he has proof, right? He has proof that written proof that he can leave for 59 million pounds. So logically speaking, Arsenal have said a bit. That is not Mo. That is the news. If Arsenal place a bid that is 59 million pounds, what is going to happen? He's going to become what? An Arsenal player, right? Just logic. Right? Just logic. The other one is Cisco. All the journalists have saying that Cisco and Arsenal have reached an agreement. RB Leipzig don't want to budge. Don't want to budge, right? Don't want to budge. But it said that Cisco is throwing a tantrum himself and he wants them to honor the promise they made for him. So there is a world where Arsenal actually sign a striker. Is it Gyokeres or Cisco? We don't know. Or both, right? Rodrigo is going to play in the Club World Cup, correct? I'm just giving you guys scenarios. I know I'm a little bit slow, but I want people to understand where we build this, right? Rodrigo is playing in the Club World Cup. He's actually now being assessed. The club that is in for him and admire him is Arsenal. Are they willing to meet the price? They might. There is a world where Gyokeres is signed, Rodrigo is signed. Does that make Arsenal a title contender or even one of the favorites to win the title or not? Ahmed's first answer, no. They can do all of this and they can win the title. Does anybody have an answer for this?
Yeah, I do. I think if they land Rodrigo and Gyokeres, I think they'll be challenged for the league. Because they've already got a very good side. They've got a solid defense. They've got a decent goalkeeper. They've got a decent-ish midfield, and I feel like with the addition of Rodrigo in the attack and a striker that is banging 50 goals, in the season, well, anyone who says that they're not gonna be a threat is a liar. Of course, they're gonna be a threat. Whether I think they're gonna win the title, no, not really. Because at the end of the day, I'm not an Arsenal fan. If you ask any Arsenal fan, they will be confident to say that they're going to win the title. But I just feel like with the season that we've had, doesn't matter what the rivals teams they're going to sign. I just feel like we're just going to go and lift the title again. But it's crazy to not think that if they sign.
Would you say the same? Would you say the same about Liverpool?
Yeah. I think as I say, Liverpool will still challenge for the league. Don't get me wrong.
They won't win it.
They're a good side, but I don't think
will win it.
I still think City will win.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so you're really speaking from a fan perspective, not from like.
Well, from a fan perspective, I've just said that if Arsenal do their business, they'll be challenged for the league. They'll be coming close to the league. If same with the Liverpool, because let's not forget they won the title, and you can't write them off because they're a really good team. But
you're writing them off because you said they're not winning. They're winning. You know what?
No. I'm just saying
Chelsea are gonna be there, but they aren't winning the league. I'm literally that is the definition of I'm writing them off from winning the league.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. I get what you're trying to say, but I just feel like Man City will lift the title this season.
Okay, that's you being a fan. Okay, let's be real.
Disagree with you, Mateus.
And let's be real. Listen, that's you talking as a fan, and everyone is allowed to be a fan. Let's be real. The champion always has the advantage. So Liverpool going into the season are the favorites to win the title.
Wait,
champion's advantage. It's like boxing. When you win a title and you play you fight your next fight, the champion always has the advantage. You cannot
I disagree.
Teams
You guys are the clear favorites. Quit play the underdog.
There's a difference between saying who is going to win it versus who has the advantage. I always give the
Arsenal was favourite to win the league last season.
It's hard to get
Arsenal are the betting favorites right now.
I would say I'm just coming on that. I'm just going to comment on the back of that real quick. It's very rare that you see the title repeated, like where a champion and like I would say that when you are in the position of a title holder, everyone's gunning for you. Every game they're gunning for you, right? It's not the same when.
But that's what I said at the start.
You guys haven't won the league in a long time, so just know that, like, it's not an easy thing to stay on the top of the perch.
What?
Like that,
I was there.
I was the league in a long time.
I was there when we won the league. In fact, I was too young for the 80s. I saw the 90s. I saw the 2000s.
Okay.
I know what that looks like. I know what it looks like to not win the league after. What I'm saying is that at the start of the season, you always give the advantage to the champion. I'm not saying Liverpool are going to win it. I say in my mind, they're the favourites. All rest of us are playing catch up. That's why we're buying players. That's why we're trying to figure out new systems and how to beat them. But I
disagree with you.
I can dismantle.
I can dismantle this in one thing.
Wait, let me just.
If City signed Wirtz, Frimpong, right? If City signs Wirtz, yes. If the rules are reversed and City signed Wirtz and Frimpong, right? I think at that time everyone and Liverpool signed Shirky and they didn't sign a right back. Man City will be favored. Everyone will say that.
I don't think we will.
We haven't seen.
You literally just said without all of you are still favorites.
We have too many question marks right now.
I'm giving in the better scenario. Martin, I know you have to go. Martin,
calm down. When you said if the situation were reversed, yeah, and Kel will back me on that. Let's say if we would go and sign Wirtz and Frimpong, I don't think that would be enough to win the title because.
No.
What we've gone through this season, we need more than just.
But you don't. I think you didn't get my point. My point is, if Liverpool signed Shirky, and I'm talking about the 10s, and you signed Wirtz, and you signed the right back, right? And Liverpool didn't sign a right back until now, and the season goes on, and they start with Conor Bradley.
No.
you will be favorites.
No. Our problem is our entire midfield is garbage.
Yes.
So Wirtz doesn't fix what we have in the midfield. The midfield is that's the problem. A 10 doesn't fix that.
I don't know how do I need to explain this. You still signed fucking Rangers and Rodri's coming back.
Is Rodri
You just said that we signed Wirtz and Frimpong. You didn't say Rangers.
I just said switch the rules in the Wirtz and the Shirky situation, and you signed back.
So that you didn't say Rangers though.
No, you didn't say Rangers.
Guys, I don't need to say Rangers because Liverpool didn't
say Our midfield had our 8s were god awful last season.
Yeah.
One second. I just want to come off the
whole midfield revamp. That's what this rebuild is. Like our entire rebuild.
Martin,
I can explain it.
I got nothing to say on favorites. I think it's a bit of a hard one to call this far out from the end of the transfer window. We would have to sign like Leao, Gyokeres, and Sesko for me even to think about calling us favorites.
Yeah, but I just want to say something about Man City. I just want to say something about Man City. Just one thing.
Thanks, guys. I got to run.
See you, Martin.
Big up. All I'm saying, one thing I'm not going to have is Man City playing underdogs, isn't it? Like, if you look at the players that they've just signed, it's so annoying because they practically went and signed all my favourite players. But anyway, Nuri. Instantly one of the best, bro. I've been saying about it. He's quality player. Reinders instantly becomes one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, and Cherky, one of the most sought after number 10s, and he's going to be up there in terms of one of the best. So, like I said, they've just bought elite signings.
Can you repeat what you said again? You said Reinders is going to be one of the best midfielders.
He becomes instantly one of the best.
One of the best midfielders. Can you define one of the best, like top 5?
One of the best in the Premier League.
Top 5. Okay. If we say one of the best, it's top 5, right?
Yeah, top 5. He'll be in that grab.
Can I ask you? I'm gonna name 5, and you tell me. Stop me when you hear midfielder that Reinders is better. No, I'm not gonna mention Rice.
Bro, I didn't say he's better than anyone.
Guys, I'm being serious. Guys, I'm trying to have a conversation. Ahmed, but you can't say things that are not true and build a situation on him.
Wait, bro, listen. Reinders,
he said he will be.
He becomes.
He said instantly. He said instantly becomes. He said instantly becomes one of the best midfielders in the league. That means top 5.
Yeah, but doesn't mean that he is right now.
Now he
joins. The interpretation of a word instantly becomes. It's literally once he joins, season starts, he is one of the best.
Let him
watch midfielders come in under Pep. It always takes him about a year.
But I don't understand.
Rodri was crap his first season. It took him
because you fucking never watched AC Milan. You never watch AC Milan play football, and you never watch Rangers play football.
I'm just telling you. I've watched a couple of games. Let me Americans on their team.
Finish your point, Ahmed. Finish your point. Go
All I'm saying.
I'm fully watching.
Look, I've seen him playing for the Netherlands. Obviously, it's very well documented that he's one of AC Milan's best players, probably his best midfielder as well. He's got loads of good attributes. He's a very good player. This ain't a player, that is just any midfielder. The reason why I'm saying he becomes one of the best is because this guy is quality. I'm talking about his quality as a player and what he possesses, and that's why I'm saying he becomes one of the best. Yes, he's not played in the Premier League and he still has to show it, but the reason why I'm saying he is going to be one of the best, he's going to play under Pep Guardiola, he's going to play with Rodri and the likes, he's going to play with solid players, so it's going to make it easier for him to embed in world-class manager who's going to get the best out of him. So with those qualities,
Rodri's going to take time to come back. Like everybody needs to hold Rodri's, or like everybody needs better next to Rodri. Rodri's not going to play all the time right away. He's coming back from an ACL injury. It's going to take him a lot of time too.
That's not how that's a mad thing though. He's a quality player.
One second. We all know that it takes a while to acclimatize to the pace and power of the Premier League. Reinders is not going to come into the Premier League and just become this boss. Like we've seen many try and fail before. With that said, though, I don't know how you guys are like just underplaying what City already have. Like, let's not forget that they have who was basically the player of the season last year in Rodri coming back. They've added
from
to
a
that
devastating injury. Are we just overlooking that? It's not like he went on vacation for a year.
Let's not forget that. Like at the beginning of the year, nobody was saying the City was going to fall off the way they did. They were still supposed to be contending for the title until they lost Rodri. So I don't know how you could now add to that team and then not expect that team to kick on from that.
I've been calling
There's
that for years.
quite a few key members. That's why
it takes ACLs a long time. It took Van Dijk a year to get back. It took Florian Wirtz a year to get back from his ACL injury. Like it just takes time. I don't expect to see the best version of Rodri until January.
Not everyone's built
as soon as Wirtz came back, he was bossing in the Bundesliga. Don't try that.
Who watches Bundesliga like this? But anyways, the point is to
I do. You can ask Mo.
That's fine. That's fine. That's just my thing. I always mess around people when they say to talk about players. Like this Reinders thing. When he said the attributes, I was going to ask Ahmed what attributes they are, but I just thought, you know what? I'm going to leave it because I already did it with Rodrigo once.
He's a very good player, by the way. He's a very, very good player. Very
good. Everyone went crazy. Over
he was so good. The problem with this is that in the history of Pep Guardiola, there is no midfielder that came in and was embedded right away.
Exactly.
They always take time. That is what happens all the time with Pep. Pep is the best manager to get the best out of every player, but it takes him a bit to actually get that. It's very rare when he actually gets someone embedded in work right away. Ruben Diaz probably is the only one I remember, and maybe I can the second half of the season. Haaland as well. Like Haaland worked for him really, really well as a striker. He had to change everything in the midfield.
Yeah, Kyle Walker, that's a good one.
Mares.
So maybe.
No, Mares took a while.
No, it took him a while. Mares took
a while. People were ripping on that. Like, you wasted 60 million on him.
Okay, can we go back to? Can we go back? So okay, let's have this. So who has the best? Okay,
can I just make a point? Because you challenged me, and I wanted to answer back, right? Because you said if the
who challenged who?
You did. When I said I made my point that Liverpool have the Champions advantage, and you said I was wrong, and if you wrote,
I agree with you on that.
So
no. I didn't say you were wrong. I said Liverpool have added to their champions. That's why, in my eyes, they are favorites.
Oh, that's my sense. You agree with me?
Yeah. I think we all. The three of us all agree on that.
No. Hold on. But it's not because they had the title. It's because remember, Liverpool won the title, and literally the season after they were in favorites because every Liverpool fan said, "Fuck FFG, can we have signings?" You remember that season?
So
we didn't have anyone.
I agree. But let me explain my points on this, right? So that season, we take that season for example, you had a very settled Man City team, right? Which the next season we're just going on with pretty much the same team they have. This season is very different. They've got a new midfield. We don't even know how that midfield is going to gel together, right? They still have to play together. They still have to find chemistry. And that's what I mean sometimes when we talk about football and you buy players, we always think that you could just drop them in and all of a sudden they're playing like Man City from 5 years ago. We don't know what they're going to look like yet. So we'll say Man City right now, they are an unknown, right? This midfield. They're not unknown. They need a right back. We need to see how Nori also adapts to a system where now he's going to be more ball dominance. So that's Man City. We take Arsenal. Everyone knows Arsenal's problems, right? We don't score enough goals. Right? Last season, we didn't score enough goals. Can we fix that? Yeah, we're bringing a striker. We still don't know how that striker is going to hit the ground running. Liverpool now have got a stable team. They've now added one more player to that system. Also, 2 players with the right back as well, right?
But when you count Gyokeres.
Is this actually a rack?
Well, do you think Liverpool
rack, if that is you, please text me.
Do you think Liverpool has enough goals in their side without Mo Salah?
Let me finish this point. No, let me finish this point. The thing is that they've got enough chemistry and they've also got the euphoria of winning a league to push them forward, which is why I say at the start of the season, they will be favourites. If we start the season today, I'll still give it to Liverpool, right? Because they've just got that momentum to keep going. Now, how the season pans on,
favorites.
I don't agree with that.
How the season pans on is for the rest of us to catch up, right? And that's where.
Do you guys think Liverpool has
the best team, and you're adding one of the best players in the market?
I think we became favourites when we made the signings, but the whole notion that when we became champions, we have that added advantage, I disagree. I think there's a disadvantage. That's why it's so hard to do.
Can I say something? Anybody? Thanks for it. Hold on. Anyone that joins from SAD, thank you so much for joining, but you're all bozos spamming 5-0. You guys are fucking losers. You haven't won a trophy. Some of you are so young as Arsenal fans, you have never seen a major trophy in your life. You lived all your life, and you have never seen your club lift up a league or the Champions League. Bro. FA Cup, Crystal Palace won the FA Cup.
It's still major trophy. So Red Star Belgrade.
Spurs won a trophy more recently.
Sorry, Marseille won the Champions League. It's still a big trophy.
You even haven't seen Europa League and Spurs have won it. So anybody that's coming 5-0.
United won trophies more recently.
Anyways,
I don't get a 5-0. What's a 5-0?
They lost 5-0 in the final, innit? Let me go back to the point you made. It's easy. Let me go back to the point.
So you said, I forgot. Can someone remind me?
You said the thing about end of season, right? So at the end of the season, would you say Liverpool the best team?
I think they were.
By a long shot.
So if we start the season,
decimated the league this season.
So after the season ended, if the season started again, who would be the favorites?
If
the season after the season ended on game 38, if the next day the season started again,
Liverpool.
who would be the favorites?
Does that include the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and people like that are still leaving?
No. I'm just saying, end of season, game 38, and start a game the next day. Who's favorites?
Liverpool.
There you go. So my point still stands. It doesn't matter who you sign.
But it's not an advantage.
It's still an advantage.
Okay, can I just ask one question?
Do you think that losing just Trent makes you less good?
Only was it 4 teams in the 3 clubs in the history of the Premier League that's done back-to-back, which was City, United, Chelsea. And the last team to do that, United done it 3 times with that 3P team, one of the best teams that we've ever seen. City have done it with one of the best teams we've ever seen. And Chelsea have done it with one of the best teams we've ever seen in the Premier League. So it has to take an incredibly major and incredible squad to go back to back. That's why.
Can I just do it?
Let me just ask you, even with their great team.
Oh, you're still better than everyone else. The point I'm still trying to make is you are still better than everyone else as constructed right now.
No, one second.
You still have Mo Salah, you still have Van Dijk, you still have Alisson. You still have Gravenberch, you still have McAllister.
You know, as it stands,
I need to get other opinions.
You know, as it stands, yeah. Obviously, Arsenal hasn't signed anyone. As it stands, obviously the favourite is Liverpool and Man City. We have to wait until what Arsenal is going to do in the market, what players they're going to bring in. But look at Man City and Liverpool. They've got a player that is guaranteed to score 25 to 30 goals, which in Mo Salah and Erling Haaland. Yeah. Let's say, for example, Liverpool. If you take Mo Salah out of that team, do you think they've got enough firepower as compared to Man City? If you take Erling Haaland, consider they still got Marmoush in there.
We're still talking that we still got these transfers, yeah.
Which,
so as in like we still sign Wirtz,
yeah.
Okay. Yes.
If you take a small Salah that team, do you think that you've got enough firepower to go out there and still push?
You think you can win the title next season without Erling Haaland, with Omar Marmoush as a striker? Really?
No.
No chance. What are we doing here?
Marmoush in Turkey would be very interesting.
I'm trying to get Matthias in all the scenarios, he's making City favorite. It doesn't matter what happens. He's making City favorite.
I
get it.
I'm just asking a simple question. In
terms
of
you guys, yes.
I feel like Liverpool needs to add more.
I think we can handle the loss of Haaland better than you can handle the loss of that Marmoush. Salah, sorry.
Yeah, that's why I say City can deal with it. Us, maybe not. Maybe we can work with it for a couple games, but not for like an extended period, like a month or something like that.
Yeah.
However, the transfer window is still not done. I still expect my club to go out and sign at least another 2 more players, a DM preferably. Sorry, 3 players, a centre back, a DM, and a forward, including the fact that we are losing players, people going Saudi and everything like that. So
no, but like I was going to just say, like, I hear that as well. But the reason why people are saying Man City, it's not even a mad thing to say. Currently, right now, they have had the best transfer window, if we're being honest with ourselves. And I can't stand them in it, but they've had the best transfer window.
And City had the best transfer window?
100%.
So find Wirtz, Frimpong.
We addressed the big areas that we had problems in.
City's one's better.
So City are still without a right back?
No, but they'll listen. City's window.
We haven't had a left back in 10 years, and we just signed one.
Yeah, and
that's a big
Liverpool literally added to a left back, and they signed a right back and an attacking midfielder.
Yeah, so they're also signing a left back.
One of the best.
What is Kirkez a center back? What is Kirkez? Is he a winger?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have this conversation with you, Ahmed. Okay, I'm gonna ask you, Ahmed. I want you Zubamendi, Rice, Odegaard, right? Caicedo, Enzo, Palmer, Rodri, Reinders, Shirky, Wirtz, McAllister, Gravenberch. Rank this midfield.
That's okay. So
we're not going to count Newcastle's midfield.
By the way, someone here is saying this Mo is just unbearable. Broski, you're literally, it's called Footy Judge Mo, actually. I'm not a guest. It's literally my channel, bro. Like, it's so strange. Like me going to Terry's chat, like, this Terry guy, bro. I'm watching him. It's fucking unbearable. Just fucking turn it off. I mean, turn it off.
I love content. Is that funny?
No, but in terms of who I think is the best, is okay. Right. Instantly, I'm thinking of Cities and Chelsea's. I think Chelsea. You're unbearable in your channel.
At least send a super chat if you're going to make fun of him.
Go ahead.
Now, top three. Like, listen, I'll try and figure out the orders here. But top three is Chelsea, City, and Liverpool. Those are the top three. I don't know which one's in order yet, but that's the top three in terms of like who possesses the best midfield and the attack, because they're all elite. Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer is elite. Cherky, Reinders, and Rodri. I mean, that probably gives them over the edge because they've got the best DM in Rodri. We'll see how he is after the injury. And McAllister and Gravenberch, even though they're not like number sixes like that, they've done a sick job there. And with Wirtz, he cost a lot of money. So yeah.
I love how you just said he cost a lot of money, but not the fact that he's actually a quality player.
He's a good player, but if we're being honest, like with the money that they've spent on Florian Wirtz, like Cherky for 30 mil, you can't really, like quality-wise, that you can even make a case that Cherky is a better talent. Obviously, Wirtz has done more in the game.
But who
get it? Don't say Mbappe. Don't say Mbappe.
And again, couch. Rank the midfields, couch, please. For you, in your opinion, I know that you can remove your pen out if you think Chelsea.
Without question, it's Chelsea's midfield. Let's just be real here.
And then who's number two?
I still say City's number two if all things are equal.
And then three?
I would probably go with.
Remember, Zubamendi signed for Arsenal.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Arsenal then. I think that he's
the Liverpool the third, even with Wirtz.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Wirtz though, like, and this is the thing that we have to start.
Wow, we are dissing McAllister and Gravenberch after their.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's more so that I think what needs to be addressed here and what we need to understand is that nobody comes into the Premier League and just hits the ground running, especially in the midfield.
Yeah, you put City second when they have two midfielders. That just
I think it's very likely you'll see Foden starting as a 10 and not Cherky.
I don't think you're gonna. And I also don't think that it's just like the three. I think it's also like the depth of midfield that you're looking at too, right? It's not just looking at the 2 or 3 players that Chelsea's got the best depth. Chelsea's got the best depth, man. Who? Endo?
Oh, respect Endo. Respect.
Szoboszlai.
All right, yeah.
Chelsea have the best.
Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, like those are not
as far as we know as a panel. You literally have Lavia as depth. That's all you got.
Nobody even talks about
Lavia.
Nobody even talks about it.
No. But the point is, Chelsea have at the current moment, you have Lavia. Andre Santos is that even play the game yet? Arsenal.
The team with the most depth in the midfield is Aston Villa.
Arsenal have Thomas Partey as bench and Mikel Merino. All right, like Thomas Partey. Liverpool have Endo, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott. I'm just naming midfield. Szoboszlai. Basically, Liverpool have the fucking deepest
70 million bench player.
Currently at the current moment, Liverpool have the deepest midfield in the league.
Yeah, but having more midfielder doesn't mean they've got more quality.
What?
But Liverpool have fucking quality, a lot of quality.
Well, if you're talking about bench, then you can add Phil Foden. He's a midfielder for Man City.
We just had a stinker of a season.
Doesn't mean anything. Anyone can have a bad season.
So Odegaard can have a bad season. He was one of the best midfielders for the last 2 seasons. Yeah, would you have the same? Would you have the same energy for that? Yeah. And Odegaard that has 2 magnificent seasons.
Never won Player of the Year. Never won a league title. Phil Foden literally won a league title.
You are just arguing. Okay, league title is a function of a team, not just one player, right? So let's just put that.
Phil Foden that season was carried by 2 people. You're by two people.
Player of the year.
It was not a team effort.
Okay, let me ask. I'm being honest. I'm gonna ask the chat, and I want you guys to be honest. Phil Foden, everyone in the chat, Phil Foden has had a bad season last season. So is Odegaard. Okay, yes. Okay, we know. I'm not slugging him off. I'm just coming. Just give me a sec. I'm coming to you. And Odegaard has had a stinker of a season, bro. Both of them. I'm asking you tomorrow, who are you taking in your midfield? If you have a midfield, remember that both had bad seasons. Foden had a good season before, who won player of the season. Would you take Odegaard?
If you wanna win a league title, Judge Mo, you take Phil Foden. If you wanna take,
or if you want to get to a Champions League final, Phil Foden.
Netflix, you take Odegaard.
If I want to play an actual midfielder, I'll play out Odegaard. Because
if you want to win a league title, if you want to win a bit major trophies, you take Phil Foden. Simple as that.
Would you say the same about Jack Grealish? If you want to win major trophies, would you take Jack Grealish as well?
I like Jack Grealish, and I think he's a decent player.
I
would take Jack Grealish over over Martinelli or even fucking Luis Diaz.
What?
Yeah, I would.
Are you okay?
Well, I need to have you. I need to have you in every show.
Jack Grealish.
In every show.
Really, a treble winner. It's a treble winner.
The problem is Matthias. He says things with straight face, bro. Like, he says stuff with straight face.
He's cold, man. He is cold, man. He's looking like, yo, I'm dead serious, man.
I'm taking him over Diaz.
No, it's a fact. Yeah,
that's not a fact. That's an opinion.
It's not a fact. It's about trophies. Not about your feelings. No. Football is not about your feelings. It's about trophies. Phil Foden, it's not. Phil Foden is not the level. Listen,
I'm taking Rio Ferdinand.
Odegaard is not the level of Phil Foden.
Yeah, take him out of the broadcasting booth.
It's 2025. It's 2025.
I need that. Can I do these 2 super chats? To be honest with you guys, I'm gonna do these 3 super chats. Alejandro Arnold free transfer means JC, you won. My man has been learning Spanish for 2 years, bro. 2 years. He's been telling these guys it means more. I'm here for you. I love Liverpool. Then he goes to the guy. He's like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Hola. I'm like, I've been learning Spanish for 2 years.
I don't care, man. Sprechen Sie Deutsch. Sprechen Sie Deutsch. Big Florian in our club, man.
¿Cómo se dice?
Okay, let me finish these, please, to respect them. Thank you so much, guys. Arsenal fans since 99. My opinion is Liverpool outright favorites for the league. City and Arsenal will be there in the fight for the title without a shadow of a doubt. 100%. Big up Akai. I think so. I actually would put Chelsea, if they sign a striker, they will be there for a striker and a centre back. And I think Chelsea will be in the title race.
No, they won't. Stop lying.
I'm not lying, bro. I'm just saying, bro, there's no lying. It's an opinion. There is no.
These mental gymnastics that you're doing for Chelsea fans, they won't be in a title race. They're not good enough. What are we doing here?
We'll talk about that.
Let's be real.
Okay, Matthias, let me do the super chats, please. And I'm gonna Mo counting only Lavia.
Get a beer. 1 minute.
Get a beer. Mo counting only Lavia as depth because Santos, especially top 3 center midfielder, hasn't played yet. So why are we counting Wirtz, Shirky, and other guys? That's fair enough. So under Santos,
and you know what?
Are we going to say Rangers talk?
And you know what?
Blaze, that is very fair. To be honest, challenge. I like it.
Comment, man. I just let them go. I just let them say what they need to say. But the truth is, we know.
Okay, we can take out all 3. We still got Soboslai.
Liverpool are bad.
Are you sure you want to flex that?
I wouldn't be flexing that at all.
He's great with waving his hair. Him and Odegaard.
Blaze, that was a very good show. Jack.
Too busy winking at the camera.
Let me read the super chat. LFC are bad until we play them and we smash them. We'll see, Jack. So I'm gonna go back there. I actually, in my opinion, Chelsea have the best midfield. That's just my opinion. What do you like?
Of course you do.
What are we doing here, Mo?
How is that even debatable?
Why am I a Chelsea fan now? Like people think I'm a Chelsea fan.
It's not shorting for argument.
To be honest, everyone, and to be honest, I don't think that's edgy at all.
It's not. Listen,
really
at the beginning of the stream, you just say Declan Rice is the best number 8. Oh,
But listen, it's inconsistent.
I never. You just the problem with you. The problem with you, Matthias. The problem with you is that you actually started saying things that I didn't say at all. I never said he's the best 8. I never said he even like. By the way, I didn't.
He's the best 8 in the league.
No, he
That's
didn't.
what you said.
No, he didn't.
When did I say this? I'm gonna rewind the tape, and I never said that.
Send it to VAR.
I'm gonna say that. I actually think that Chelsea are the most, at the current moment, complete midfield.
I disagree.
They have 3 players that we've all seen. The difference between Chelsea and all the others is that Chelsea have 3 starters and a depth guy that we all seen play in the Prem. Do it in the Prem. Like, Wirtz is great in Germany. He might be a lot of talent. He might be fantastic. I haven't seen him play in the Prem. And people that say,
injured was the
Prem, people say Prem Todd.
That's like us counting on John Stones.
A lot of people are actually taking time to gel in the Prem. A lot of people.
Can I ask a question?
For Arsenal. I'm just gonna. I really need to finish my point. I haven't done a panel show for a while. I need to finish. Odegaard's best is not called Palmer's best, right? Caicedo's best, in my opinion, is better than the majority of the midfielders bar Rodri in the league. Every DM in the league, Rodri at his best is better.
He's not better than Partey. He's not.
And the gap is massive, by the way. The gap is like 10 miles wide.
I don't think you watch.
Actually, that's what City fans say. I actually think that the gap between the people that keep saying that the gap between Rodri and Caicedo is like wild. When I say wild, it's basically the gap between Lamine Yamal and Justin Kluivert. That is called wild, right?
Yeah, that's
that is.
Obviously, don't believe that's not. It's not that big though. It's not that deep. Like when we're talking about the play of Rodri versus the best play of Caicedo, we're not talking about a chasm between the two of them. Let's be real here.
There's a chasm because Rodri is a world class 8 at the same time as being a world class 6. Caicedo
is a footballer. Bottom line, you put him in any midfield, and he's a functional midfielder in that midfield. Without question.
100%.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
So is Rodri.
Can we not deviate, Olo? Can we not deviate?
I'm not deviating. It's actually on point, right? So I'm going to ask because I think basically when we're talking about the best midfield. Are we talking about over a 38-game season, or are you talking about when they play against each other to determine who's got a better midfield?
I think we're talking about
overall.
Because if you go over a 38-game season, I would say the team who's been the most consistent over 38 games is the team that wears red and white that play up north in Liverpool. So I don't understand how we can say Chelsea will have a better midfield than a team which has consistently only lost 4 games only. Drew less games than anyone else and won the most games.
So what is the game won and lost in the? Is the game only won and lost in the midfield? No, we also have problems in the box, right?
It's of course, but it's a massive function of why you win, right? You control the midfield,
which is why we finished 4th this year. But the reasons why we weren't able to challenge for the titles because we don't have a keeper, we don't have a center back, and we don't have a striker to score goals. But our midfield,
we didn't have a midfield, and we finished ahead of you.
I want to hear this convo. Now I want to hear this convo. Then
I agree with you. However, I'll say this, right? Okay, let's take away. So you played them twice last season. You beat them once, right? At home. And I'll say, to be fair, most people say Liverpool were on the beach. They didn't really care to watch that game. Right? And then, of course, you played them at...
You saw the first game, though, too, which was quite evenly matched.
You played well, right? Exactly. But, however, I'll say this. I expect 8 out of 10 times you play Liverpool, at their best, they'll beat you. That's what I feel.
Yeah, but you're saying that you're making that assessment based on the fact that they have other pieces of their team that are much more advanced. Their goalkeeper alone is miles clear of ours. Their center backs alone are miles clear. That's the foundation of a strong team.
Let me explain the reason why I say that, though. The reason why I say that is because I feel their midfield has the ability to overrun teams, right? And I think that Chelsea's biggest problem is that when it gets into a basketball game against you guys, that's when you guys suffer. If it's a back and forth game, which Liverpool want to get you into because they run a hell of a lot, I think you suffer against that.
Against us?
It happened against City.
Which is why I said 8 out of 10 times, right? I'm not saying that they'll beat you every single time. This is what I would say. Liverpool. This is why I say Liverpool have got the
Rams,
best.
tell this guy how many
now.
times we played you the last 2 or 3 years, and it's been a chess match the whole time.
Bogey team couch, man.
Both times, every time we played you guys the last few seasons, it's been a chess match the whole way.
It's
not
more
an
of
up
a
and down
mental
affair.
I think it's more of a mental thing, similar to what City have.
You can say whatever you want. The facts still remain. The game has never been stretched. It's never been a stretched game where teams are going back and forth with each other.
That's true. That's true. The only time I think last season when we beat you 4-1 was the first time in a while we've had a convincing victory.
And it didn't even look like a 4-1, to be honest.
You know what? I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way. You know what? I'll say this. Listen, every single team here, when you bring your midfield against my midfield, you don't seem to do well. Can I ask you? I want to challenge you on this. You don't seem to do well against us. Before we go to Arsenal, I want to hold on, guys. I want to just actually stay on the Liverpool versus Arsenal versus Chelsea midfield, right? Do you think Liverpool midfield, right? I'm gonna ask. Do you think Liverpool midfield is better defensively than Chelsea's midfield?
Yes.
I think
Liverpool's midfield is better defensively than Chelsea's.
Not just defensively, but offensively.
See, Matthias, you always go to the next. Okay. I didn't ask that. Okay. Just stick to the point because I'm going somewhere with this, right?
I think yes, they are.
I want the chat to answer this. Ahmed, can you come to the screen and join us?
Some water, man.
Why?
Do you guys? Who here thinks that Chelsea's mid? Okay, I'm gonna ask Rams. Do you think your team is defensively better than Chelsea's team? Midfield
team or
only?
Midfield?
No, midfield only. The three midfield.
As a unit, yeah, but they've got the better defensive midfielder.
That's the point. That's always my point. That's always my point. Sorry.
So you think as a unit, your team defends better?
Yeah.
Than them.
And also, just to add on what he was saying.
Fair enough. That's a good argument. We're not debating here. That's a good one.
Because Maresca, Enzo, I think there's a big disparity between the defense and
fair enough.
Sorry. Before you go, because I said the same thing with Arsenal. I say everyone wishes how poor Arsenal's midfield is until you put them as a function of the team and you realize how strong they are in terms of what they do. This is why I don't go by just the names of the players, right? Because you can toss in any player into midfield and go, this midfield will be the best. Until you put them on the pitch and see how they play together. To Ramsey's point, Liverpool's players get back quicker to help defend than I see Chelsea's players do. I see Caicedo is a monster in winning the ball back.
That's tactical, though.
Right, and tactic is part of the midfield.
Yeah, but you're not. That doesn't necessarily mean that the midfield's not functioning because of the way the manager set them up is to be a little bit more on the front foot.
I agree with you, but still.
Well, you don't have a good manager anyway.
I'm going to say the best. I'm going to take the tactic.
He's killing me over here, man.
If you're going to say the best, I'm going to take the tactics as part of the midfield. This is why I don't like this idea of just going by the names.
Yeah, it is definitely tactics as well. There is the tactics part of it.
Absolutely.
The utilization of your weapons at your disposal is part of how good the midfield is.
No, but the thing is, what I was going to say, obviously in terms of Chelsea, their midfielders, they've got more defensive qualities, as individual players than Liverpool. But like you said, Liverpool defend better because they've got a better manager. And the way how you set out your team defensively is based on the manager. So the thing is, Maresca's got better tools in his midfield defensively, but he doesn't know how to use it properly. I wouldn't even go that far.
I would say this. Liverpool
just one more point. Just one more point. Like the thing is, if you look at Gravenberch and McAllister, yes, they can defensively do their job, but they're not defensive-minded players naturally, if that makes sense. They've got more ability going forward. You see McAllister banging in shots. You see Gravenberch, he's solid on the ball. He can ping a pass. He's got all these offensive weapons to his game. And the fact that Slot is able to, get them defensively do their job when it doesn't come naturally to them shows you how good tactically he is. So it does come down to tactics because you can have the best players.
And this is why football is played by 11 and not 3, because they have a more settled side. They're allowed; those midfielders are allowed to take
and the manager sets that
because
side.
they know what they have behind them in order to defend any of their mistakes, their aggressivity going forward. Chelsea do not have a settled side yet. We have a strong midfield. No, it's because of the players. We do not have strong defenders.
I said to you individually, you have really good players, but the way how you're set out, it's like when I watch Chelsea,
this is why football is played by 11 and not 3. Our midfield is not the issue. It's the other areas on the pitch that we have problems. Defenders, goalkeepers. You cannot take risks in that midfield in Chelsea.
I've seen Arsenal defend as a unit, with Kivior in the back, so there's no excuse. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, like I said, Chelsea do not have the same setup as Arsenal. They do not have Gabriel and Saliba in the center of the defense and a goalkeeper.
Gabriel was out though, and it was Saliba against.
And they fell off. What do you mean? And they fell off.
Oh, you got to watch his hammy next season.
No, not really. Against Madrid.
For me, right, with the comparisons of both teams, I think, I will stand by it. I do feel that as a unit, even with, I think McAllister compared to Enzo, I think is night and day between their defensive abilities. I think you can see it with the national team as well. I think that Chelsea midfield, those two other centre midfielders next to Caicedo, or whether it be Lavia as well, they're both very good technically on the ball, and they're not as good defensively. So they'd rather keep control of the ball and have possession of play and control the game, because that sort of style of play fits with the two centre midfielders that they got. Caicedo has the ability to cover two people's job. That's how good he is as a DM. But when you compare it to a Gravenberch and McAllister, no, they're not the same level as Caicedo, but those two are both very, very good defensively, and they're both defensively adept. Especially, I think people underestimate how good McAllister is.
McAllister is better than them two.
Before Couch come in, now next season, because of Wirtz being there, he's the equivalent of Cole Palmer, now we get to see how balanced that midfield is. Because remember, Cole Palmer doesn't defend.
Yeah,
basically. He rarely goes back to tackle somebody. That is not his job on the pitch. So Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo have to do the majority of the work. Now with Wirtz, now we're going to see Gravenberch and McAllister with that work. This is why I'm saying that Chelsea have the 6 that can be the destroyer, but also can dictate the game, can play the passes. Enzo Fernandez, who can crash the box and also can play the 8. And Cole Palmer, who's a goal-scoring machine and an assist machine, like Wirtz, as well. Right? This is why I'm saying, but the difference between Liverpool's midfield and Chelsea is that I have seen the 3 play in the Premier League and do it in the Prem versus 3 of them. 2 of them have done it. 1 of them has fell off at the end because he was used a lot in Gravenberch, right? And the other one is a new player to the Premier League, right? This is what
I would think, Mo.
When you say
the only reason why it's disagreed, because I know we do miss something a lot in Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai is a massive defensive outlet, but Wirtz also covers a lot of ground for Leverkusen. I don't know what his stats is, but I think on average it's around about 10 kilometers a game he covers. So he does track back a lot. That's the one benefit of him, only because he has output, but also defensively he's very, very good, and he's actually very handy at the same time. So that's the only one thing I disagree.
Some of Mateus' watch-alongs.
If I could come off the back of that, I just think that a lot of the times when we talk about Chelsea's midfield, we talk about Cole Palmer, we talk about Caicedo, and of course Enzo. And the one name that we always are remiss to mention is Lavia. And he is so important. It's because he
doesn't play.
He hasn't played a lot. It's because he's been injured, right?
15 games.
So I'm gonna hold my judgment on. I'm not
He's
gonna
like John Stones.
I know what he is. I know what he is as a player. And I know what he can do.
He's been that way in the City Academy.
I know what he is as a player, and I know what he can do in this Chelsea midfield. I know how indispensable he is when he plays. I'm just going to hold my tongue until you guys see him a little bit more regularly, because I think that this guy is
I've never seen him regularly.
That's why I have to hold my tongue. That's why I have to hold my tongue. I'm not going to say too much because I know you guys haven't seen a lot of him, but I know what this guy's quality is.
No, he's elite. He's solid.
I disagree.
He's very good.
I disagree with Judge Mo. When you say that...
I know you're here to disagree with Judge Mo. That's why.
I disagree with you. You know what I mean? I got to challenge it. I got to challenge you. When you say, for me, Liverpool has a better midfielder than Chelsea. The reason why, when you said that Chelsea, you've seen Chelsea, they've done in the Premier League, the Chelsea midfield. No, they haven't. Just Liverpool midfield, they've done in the Premier League because they've won the title. Chelsea hasn't. That midfield, they've been playing together for 2 years. Last season, they finished 8th. This is only judge.
Do you only judge things on just winning the title? Or
yeah, football is about trophies.
Do you think Ruben Diaz is better than Van Dijk as a defender?
Yeah, He won more.
Okay. You know what? Yeah. Listen. I swear to you, I was actually really.
I'm not associated with that take.
No. You low key. I'm gonna say something.
No.
I'm winding up. Van Dijk is better.
I'm listening. Is a Kanji better than?
He's trolling. Yeah, you're trolling.
Yeah. No, I was messing.
Okay, I was gonna.
Yeah.
But Mateus, when are you gonna tell them what you think of Florian Wirtz?
No, I wanted to see more reaction first. That's why he was like,
I have no reaction, bro.
I need
no reaction.
I need you to tell them what you've told our group chat about
the conversation between Diaz and Varane is subjective because obviously, like, when it comes down to Chelsea midfield,
it's not subjective. It's not subjective.
No.
There's no clear. You gotta apologize and we can move on.
No.
Mateus, you really think that Ruben is better than this guy right here?
Van Dijk is better.
Really?
Yes, he is.
Are you sure?
Van Dijk is better. Oh, when Mo said that, they've done in the Premier League. No, they haven't. They haven't done anything in the Premier League. What did they do? They've been together for 2 years. What have they done that you've seen that? Oh wow, what an amazing midfield three. They haven't done anything. Let's be real in here. Come on. They haven't done anything.
What do you mean?
Liverpool midfield three. Yeah, they've won the title.
So you're basing your opinion on the fact that like only teams that have winning titles can have a competent midfield.
You think Bruno Guimaraes is? You think Bruno Guimaraes is?
You ignore. You continue to ignore every time. A team is not three players. A complete team is more than 3 players.
Yes,
it's 11 and then some.
No, we don't. I'm going to tell you how we don't. Because even though your team won a lot of trophies and everything, you still continue to sign players to better your team.
Facts.
And some of these players. Yeah. Let me finish the point, Matthias, before you come in and jump in and just add. And some of these players, you signed them from actually teams that are lower on the table than you, and they come in to start for you. Right. Exactly. That is my point. Let me tell you something.
Where was Southampton when they signed Van Dijk? Where were they?
I'm going to give you an example.
Come on.
Bruno Guimaraes has never won the Champions League, has never won the Premier League. I think Bruno Guimaraes has done enough in the Premier League for us to say he's an elite midfielder in the Prem. But he never won the Premier League.
He's not an elite midfielder. He's a very good midfielder, but he's not elite
midfielder.
When you talk about elite,
he just does a job in it.
He's not world class, but he's still very, very
He just
good.
does a job in it. Steady.
Absolutely. He can do a job in most of the teams in the Premier League, right?
Yeah, elite is a different level, bro.
Steady. Yeah, elite's reserved for people like Pedri and
Paul Scholes. In the Premier League, it's like Paul Scholes.
Where's other Martin?
ADB. That's elite level.
In the current pool of players in the Premier League and the midfielders, Bruno Guimaraes in his position is probably one of top 5 or something like that.
Not really.
3.
No, I don't think so.
No, not really.
As an 8?
I just think he's a part of a very good functional team in it, not just because he's.
Mo, tell me
my man, hold on now, because I actually gonna challenge this right away. He literally played with Raul Linton and Longstaff, and he looked phenomenal in the Prem. Then he played with Tonali, looked Prem. Then he played with Willock, looked elite. Then he played only in a pivot without even a third midfielder.
Mo, can I also add? He also made them
top 5 right now.
No.
What?
Judge Mo, tell me your top 5.
Top 5, 8.
Top 5 midfielders overall in the Prem, including 10s that are very attacking midfielders at the current moment. All right. Caicedo, Rodri, the current moment. Kevin De Bruyne, who left.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's not count Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah. It's gone.
Okay.
Drop down.
What about your boy that
got Liverpool?
Bruno Guimaraes, in my opinion. And I'm gonna add.
I put Tonali in there.
That's for me, right?
He's trying so hard.
I said Caicedo. Guys, give me a second to think.
I heard him say Caicedo first.
I think Caicedo, Rodri, in my opinion. All right. I think Cole Palmer, McAllister.
There we go.
I would take Bruno Guimaraes now.
Oh, no Arsenal, because I
thought at the current moment, based on last season, I thought that Declan Rice didn't have a great season last season for Arsenal.
I agree.
not to his level of the
You're not putting
standard.
Bernardo Silva in there.
There is a to be honest, Declan Rice the season before won 9 man of the matches.
So you're not taking none of the Liverpool midfielders,
right? I'll take McAllister.
You said McAllister, yeah.
If you're asking me who has been better 8 this season, I would think probably McAllister has been.
McAllister is a baller.
McAllister has been the better 8 than
he's a baller.
Enzo Fernandez. I think that better than Enzo Fernandez, better than Declan Rice as an 8.
Best.
Right? Best 8 this season. It has been McAllister. Right?
I like the sound of that.
Well, Declan Rice, but overall, maybe Declan Rice will get in there sometime. But based on last season, recency bias. But the reason why I put Cole Palmer, and people, why are you saying Cole Palmer? Because in his bad season, he had 21 GA. That's called a bad season.
What about Odegaard? Because you rate Odegaard.
No. I would take Palmer over Odegaard, and I've said that plenty of times.
Would you take Foden over Odegaard?
No.
In the midfield,
no. Foden's a winger, man. Let's get into heads.
Arsenal have got a weak midfield. That's just the reality.
Well, player of the season is a midfielder.
Arsenal have a very functional midfield.
No, we're not.
But there is a reason why your team is dead last in creating from the middle.
Exactly.
You can't have a very good functional midfield without creativity in them.
They have no creativity in the middle. You know that Arsenal have no.
That's why I'm actually shocked.
I'm going to tell you why Arsenal midfield look functional to Arsenal fans. Because they go to the stadium and they watch Odegaard pass the ball with Rice and Partey, and they keep passing the ball, and it goes to Saka, and it comes back, and it goes to the left, and it comes back, and it goes to Odegaard again, it goes to Saka. Saka tries to dribble, it doesn't work, and it goes back. Odegaard, Declan Rice, comes Partey.
Sounds familiar.
And it goes back.
Pass backwards. Sounds familiar.
Until it goes to Saka, and Saka's like, fuck this, I'm going to create something. And then Saka got injured. And then who's going to create?
No one.
We don't have anybody. We stick Moreno up top. Odegaard lost.
So I'm shocked Arsenal didn't get Turkey, because he would have been perfect for them.
No, but to be honest with you, even Arsenal fans would come to my shows, people that went to the stadium and said, we fucking looked so boring passing the ball around until it went to Saka trying to create something.
They've missed that ever since Xhaka left.
That was last season.
You had the best creative midfielder over the last 10 years in Kevin De Bruyne.
His legs were gone. The
legs are gone.
He was not good last season. Outside of a couple of games.
The difference is it goes to Enzo Fernandez. He's tried to create. It goes to Palmer. He tried to create. It goes to McAllister. Goes to Salah. They tried to create. It gives to even Luis Diaz. He's trying to create something. That's a difference.
Listen. We did all that passing around, and when Man City came to the Emirates, we had no Saka.
God.
We still stuck 5.
Hey, wore a trophy,
bro.
That's a
terrible. They love the We Beat Man City trophy.
That is a terrible bad. I'm talking about a specific game. I'm not talking about over the league. I just said specific.
You guys act like that's a trophy.
Wasn't it like 3 deflections that got your 5 goals?
We got slapped by Spurs 4-0 at home.
It was Lewis Skelly, it was Odegaard, it was Partey, it was Havertz, and it was
we got slapped by.
I'm just saying.
A championship midfield last season.
We've got no creativity, but sometimes every now and then teams come and get steamed and rolled over. Chelsea come with a great.
You demolished a finished midfield. A bunch of uncles.
Yeah, the problem was this.
Congrats.
Chelsea come over to the Emirates and. Oh my goodness! That great Caicedo and those guys get smoked around with a terrible midfield from Arsenal.
Caicedo gets smoked around. Talk to me nice, man. Talk to me nice, man. When you mention Caicedo, don't be talking about being tossed around. You crazy?
You got smoked.
Crazy?
You got smoked. And then Liverpool came in the first half. Slot was pulling his hairs out. He had no hairs, and of course they got 1-0. Great goal from Salah. But we remember how the first half went. We dealt them. Who else came over? Well, Tottenham.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Arsenal against Liverpool at the Emirates.
What happened at Anfield? Because I remember our midfield.
I said.
Anyway, I'm gonna.
I'm glad it led to something for Arsenal too.
I'm gonna do the super chat because we really.
I said the Emirates. Listen.
Olo got triggered when I said pass, and he had to mention all these wins because that's how he gives the joy. That's literally what happened here. So just
Spurs mentality right there. That's what Spurs fans do.
Let me do this, guys. Don't interrupt me, please. Let me do the super chats now. Ryan, big up Ryan. Judge Mo has a massive agenda against Liverpool. Yes, because you have Salah, my Egyptian guy, who always tried to put a negative spin on everything about my club. even when we won the league, but will defend Arsenal at every opportunity, even though they fail every year. Not true, actually, because I actually said that no team deserves the league more than Liverpool if you have Mohamed Salah, who has...
You need to talk about how...
So when are you going to start talking for City then?
Well, the difference is, I don't need to talk about Liverpool that are winning the league that much and signing Florian Wirtz. Are you going to win the league next season then? Ryan, answer me this. Are you going to win the league next season then?
We'll sign a DM and we'll sign a striker. I'll say that.
You sign a DM and I thought you have Gravenberch and you're the best midfield in the world.
I want Stiller.
So who you gonna bench?
Gravenberch for Stiller.
Right then.
You're gonna bench the young player of the season? Wow.
For Angelo Stiller, 100%.
No, he's a good player.
For the nose.
That's what you know. He's a baller. Watch the name.
John goes to saying, as a Liverpool fan, I don't think Mo has a Liverpool agenda. You never walk alone. Thank you, John. These just people don't know. They don't want to hear the truth. Palmer, Caicedo, Enzo definitely best in the league. No bias. Big up Z. Thank you so much. Mo is Olo aware of the midfield progression stat. I just told him, guys. I literally just told him.
I don't care about your midfield progression stats. Bring your team to my stadium and try to beat us.
That's not how the league works, bro. That's not how the league works.
That is how my league works. That's me.
Guys, I need to finish these 3 left, please. McAllister is superior to Enzo despite coasting third last. Yeah, I think McAllister has been better.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You're going to be saying the same next season about Turkey and Wirtz.
Whoa.
We'll get double digits. Don't worry. You worry about Turkey, man.
By the way, double digits what?
Turkey.
Hold on. Double digits what? Are you all reading? Liverpool fans are all reading from the same. Liverpool fans are all reading from the same script now.
What did I say?
I got Sam saying the same thing. I got Max saying the same thing. No. That's all they say. As long as he get 20 GA in the league, he's good. Let me tell you, Jared Bowen got 20 GA in the league and he didn't cost 100 mil. It's all right.
One is German and 22. One is English and played in the Premier League his entire life.
Listen, nobody gives any. Listen, I'm just gonna say it here, guys. If you sign a 10, there is a goal scoring and assist machine as a 10 for £100 million before even the add-ons. Basically, with the add-ons, he's the most expensive player ever in the Premier League. 116. I'm expecting more than.
If he doesn't have a season like Palmer in his first season, he's a flop. I want the same energy.
Yeah, he's winning the Ballon d'Or within 2 seasons.
Palmer had 38 GA
in all comps.
Because I've seen from my club when certain players were bought for that price for way less, and he was getting hounded non-stop in it. So I want to see
because he wasn't the guy that we expected him to be.
Don't want any pressure.
Palmer had 33 GA in the Prem. By the way,
he's a good player though. He's a good player.
He's a very good player. I'm gonna say a couple of things about Wirtz. When Cole Palmer went to Chelsea, team was dysfunction. Number 2, Cole Palmer had 900 minutes only as a first teamer in any league. By the way, only 900 minutes that he played for City before in a top league.
Can I ask you, Mo? Did teams take Chelsea seriously that when Palmer first joined?
Yes.
No. Take Chelsea seriously. Of course they took Chelsea. Why would they take him? What kind of silly things they have to say that they take him seriously?
Well, you're 10th in the league at that point.
It doesn't matter where you finish.
He don't play like 1,000 minutes.
Sorry.
You don't see a Chelsea show up on your grounds and not take them seriously. What kind of silly things they have to say?
Let me rephrase it.
So you think 100 million for an attacking midfielder? You think just 20 GA is good?
Oh, it has to mean something. It has to win the league, obviously. Like you have to win the league.
I hear your point. If he's effective in the games and you win the league and he gets 20 GA, yeah, that's a good season for him.
I never look at stats. I'm all about influencing a game. If he influences the game and doesn't get any GA,
all people say that when the GA is not there. Once the GA is there, the first thing they mention is like, I got this much.
Mateus.
Bro,
can you enlighten them on how you describe Wirtz?
I'm gonna before Mateus talk.
They need to know.
I need to finish this. Eric, no Liverpool midfielder looks good because of their defend. Okay, I don't know.
And the coaching.
Defenders and the coaching. Chelsea have better players in the midfield. Fair enough, Eric.
We got
That's
some
an
smart
opinion.
people in the chat there, man. Some really smart people in the chat there, man.
Guys, Palace midfield better than Arsenal because they won against them in the FA Cup. Olo, answer this.
No, they won the FA Cup. They didn't play us in the FA Cup.
Is Man United midfield better than you? They won against you this season.
Yeah, they are apparently.
They are? Okay, you got
Casemiro.
Take the L and move on. Take the L here and move on.
Actually, no, he's talking about the Man City fans saying that if you win a league, that's when, or you win
something. By Olo's logic. Here you go, people are coming. By Olo's logic, Bournemouth clears Arsenal midfield, home and away.
They got Ryan Christie.
Ryan Christie. Hey, listen, I'm just putting it right there. Bournemouth got the second best midfielder in the Premier League. I'm just putting it out there.
Who's that?
Football knowledge. Last one. Wirtz will targeted to get injured. He won't survive.
Why would you say that?
Why would you say
that? Juju out there.
That's not nice. But also,
we don't advocate injury here.
Okay. I want to hear Matthias now. Tell us, because Kilk has been telling us that you said something about.
He's got a great nickname for him already.
Nah, I feel when we were linked to Wirtz, I was like obviously the City fans they wanted him. I probably was the only one who didn't want Wirtz. The reason being is like I always felt like we need something in that team that is we need something different to make sure we go into the season as a better team. That's why when you said that if the roles were reversed in terms of Cherki goes to Liverpool and we sign Wirtz, and I said that it would not solve any problem, we would not win the league because our midfield is so like all over the place that we need something different. But with Wirtz, when we were linked to him, I was actually watching the field Leverkusen games from last season and this season, and I saw players that he's got moment in his game. However, he's not there yet for the price tag that people were rumoring 150 million, 130 million. I don't see 130 million or even 120 million player when I was watching him. He's got moments in his game. However, he's still very, very raw. But also the fact that he's still young. He's 22. Is
Cherki raw?
Yes, a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
But,
so it's the same problem. So it's the same
no. Let me finish. I haven't finished.
Like the name.
Listen, I haven't finished because I didn't know Cherki before I watched him against Man United, but I wasn't a big fan. When we signed him, I wasn't super excited. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player, yes, cool. But it's 35 million. It's not that much. You just spend it. But I feel like Wirtz is gonna. He can be a good player for Liverpool. However, I just don't think he will be able to handle the pressure with the price tag on his back. And I feel like
that's head game stuff.
I have proof of Mateus saying this back in like April and March. This is not. He did not make this up recently.
Listen. And as a rival fan, I hope I'm right. But if you're a Liverpool fan, you got to be optimistic and you got to hope it works. But for me, Wirtz just like for me. When I watched him, I just feel like he's the German Tom Cleverley. That's
what?
All.
No way.
You're waiting all this time. You did all this waffling for about like 10 minutes just to say that you wanted to call him Tom Cleverley, the German Tom Cleverley. Let's just be real. That's what
he said this months ago. This is not new. I can find proof of it.
So what's Cherki then?
I haven't seen much of Cherki. I can't make any judgment on the player. I only watch.
He's never glazed Cherki.
I only watched one game.
That's a good thing, by the way.
This is Cherki's.
And when I watched against Man United, I didn't. He scored a very good goal.
He scored a second goal. Yeah, second leg he was balling. Yeah,
he played well.
Yeah,
I don't think he played well.
No,
second leg he played well.
I don't think he played well.
No, the second leg. No, I'm telling you, like the game that we played Lyon, yeah, Cherki had his best moments in that second leg. Like he was literally their best player. He was the only player doing anything. He was literally amazing. So first leg, I can hear you in the first
half, he was cooking, but in the second half,
no. But even
Wirtz, okay, Ahmed, Wirtz and Cherki come in. Who do you think the best 10 in the league is now?
Well,
Palmer.
Obviously,
Yeah,
those are the same.
I guess.
We cannot say much because Wirtz didn't have a good season last season. Phil Foden.
Palmer was the best 10 in the league.
Leverkusen last season.
He got 37 GA in a team that was dysfunctional. Well, not the same. I say dysfunctional. Not as good as a lot of the season before.
Young. Let's just
you know that Omar Marmoush got more GNA than Wirtz did, and he left in January.
You don't know how.
No, but low key,
you do realize Frankfurt play a very, very offensive style of football. Yeah.
Yeah, every team in Germany does.
Mo, you saying Palmer's
no. So did Leverkusen.
Palmer's
They're like sitting in a low block.
He's a number 10.
Palmer is a number 10. He's an attacking midfielder.
Yeah, Palmer's the best 10 in the league. Like, I'm sorry.
I can hear that. I just think he operates a lot better off the right.
But now that De Bruyne left,
he didn't have a 37J. He had 31 in 45.
Oh, sorry. About what was it 31 and 45?
Who's this? Yeah, in all comps, including internationals.
The Cherki, for as good as Wirtz is, yeah, the Cherki deal's better than the Wirtz one, isn't it? If we're being honest, I think it is.
Wow. By the way, you do realize
Cherki.
It's not even just because of the price.
Easy.
Wait, why
Cherki has limitations in this game though too. Like defensively,
I think Cherki's got more.
I have never watched. The only full 90 I
watched. The better player right now
in my life. The only full 90 is the Man United game, and I wasn't even.
You never watched them before?
I never watched.
He's a liability defender.
Listen, Cherki is not Mo's type of player, in it. I can already tell. Cherki is not going to be Mo's type.
No, I love that the league has Wirtz, Cherki.
He lived with Wesley Sneijder as his 10 man. He barely did any running as well.
Listen, he works with all the
Cherki played against.
Well, if he doesn't work hard, he won't play because Pep will bench him.
No, but you know what? I don't understand why. Like, this is what I don't get though. Like, when there's someone who's really talented here, there's like this thing. Oh, he's not going to be he's not going to work hard. I don't understand that. Like, I've seen Cherki.
He looks like
passengers too many kebabs. Look at his chin. The guy.
Bro, Wayne Rooney.
His chin.
Look at his chin.
Listen, Wayne Rooney.
He has a beard and he's got double chin.
Wayne Rooney was not talented like that.
Wayne Rooney wasn't talented like that.
Yeah, like the bowlers.
Yo, more
respect.
More.
Rooney wasn't as talented.
No, sorry. You say
Mo, get off the screen.
Wow.
I muted everyone on the stream. They can't mute. Wayne Rooney was not. I'm doing the spaces thing. Wayne Rooney was not talented in trickery like the Cherkis, the Wirtz, and these guys. Wayne Rooney was more of a workhorse on the pitch, a striker. Anyway, anyone can unmute.
No, he wasn't.
No,
Wayne Rooney.
Mo was a street. Mo, he was a street baller.
He was proper.
He was a street baller. When he was playing, when he started off Everton,
so you guys are comparing Wayne Rooney talent. Now hold on, I'm gonna stop this because this is like absolutely ridiculous. You guys think that the Wayne Rooney? By the way, Wayne Rooney is like team of the generations. Like for me, I put him there.
The best English player.
Yeah. Do you think Wayne Rooney was like talented like Palmer in terms of like trickery and stuff like this? Would you compare him to?
Yes, he was.
Really? You guys really, everyone here that watched Wayne Rooney.
Called Street Football. What was it called?
Thank you, Street Ballers.
Street Ballers. That's
Mo. Can I answer you, Mo?
Wayne Rooney was for you guys. You watch Wayne Rooney at Man United, and you think he was like that street guy at Man United.
I can answer.
You all are fucking tapped.
Yeah, Wayne Rooney was one of the best footballer we've ever watched.
Matthias, you come up with this. You come up with these like. I got you now, Matthias. And he comes up with us like, like these statements like, bro. Fernandinho was miles better than, but I didn't talk about this. I spoke about one particular aspect of Wayne Rooney's
I think
game.
I get what Mo's saying.
We're not like bowlers, you know what I mean? Like the trickery, the flicks.
Wayne Rooney was all that.
Wayne Rooney is not like.
No, he wasn't.
No, but listen.
No, Wayne Rooney was not about Wayne Rooney was not about the step overs, the rainbows.
Definitely was.
Let me tell you something.
About running past,
my God.
No. Can I just answer more really quickly? I just want to answer more really quickly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, listen, Momo, listen. You're not gonna have a migraine after I've helped
Wayne
you.
Rooney street striker.
I think he already has one.
Listen. Wayne Rooney isn't like your typical Isco, David Silva type player. The way
Ronaldinho, Neymar,
yes.
Arnold.
He's not.
Like I watch Rivaldo, Rui Costa.
I know. Yeah. He's not that type of player. Yeah. He's not that type of player. Obviously, his pace and his strength helped him a lot.
Thank you so much. Finishing, putting
number 8 Rooney when he had number 8 on his back. When he was just bullying bulldog, like he was like a bulldog on the pitch. But the thing is, when he
bullying is different than technical ability.
But this is where I'm going to come in. When he lost his pace and power.
Wallah, you're too young. You didn't even watch.
Bro, listen. I know what I'm talking about.
I grew up with Rooney. I hate United because of
him. Before that.
Listen. When Wayne Rooney. We're talking about Rooney. We're not talking about Saka. One sec, man.
No, I'm talking about Rooney.
Matthias, you got nowhere to be. We're going 5 minutes. You're going back to the pub. Stay on the stream. Don't go anywhere. You're nowhere to be. You're going to the pub.
Bro.
Forget when it was older.
One sec, man. One sec.
Go on.
One sec. Let me just finish my point. So obviously Wayne Rooney is not your type of player who's going to maneuver and he's got the silky dribbling about him like Isco or David Silva.
But I'm deluded,
However, even when he did lose his pace, listen, even when he lost his pace and his physicality and the way he was running past players, free kick, the passing, intelligence, game IQ, that's what made him a top
all of this
player.
Sorry, Rams, I'm sorry. Go and watch bald head Wayne Rooney when he went skinhead.
That's what I said, number 8 Rooney.
Longer sleeve, black gloves.
Black gloves. Go and watch that version of Rooney.
Yes, I've seen it, bro.
Coming from
Rooney was
I see you, Matthias.
Let me finish this. Rooney was a street baller, right? And I'll tell you how technically good he was. He was so good that Ferguson put him on the right wing to accommodate Tevez and Ronaldo. That's how skillful he was. That he was good enough to be able to play on the wings. You don't just take a player and just stick him to the wings.
Good technically.
Can we say that for the majority of his career, he wasn't that?
He's very good. But the reason why I said Isco and David Silva, I'm talking about them type of profiles, innit? But Wayne Rooney was sick technically.
That exactly was my point.
Yeah, that's
it.
I'm gonna finish these 2 super chats and then go. Anyway,
because of the pace and power, he used skill and it was the first time I saw someone use pace, power, and skill at the same time.
Yeah.
I will send you clips.
The skill is great, but it's not like the ones I'm talking about.
The ones you mentioned were just not debatable, like CR9.
Exactly.
We're talking like Il Fenomeno. He wasn't that. And those players existed at that time.
By the way, he was arguably as good in the same category as these bowlers that we talk about. But the difference is there are different type of players that Wayne Rooney is. He isn't like Wayne Rooney never relied on his technicality as much as like he was very good shooting, like the physical, the intelligent, the work the work rate he used to do, all of these finishing as well. He was elite in finishing. Some people relied on their like footwork. I don't think that Rooney relied on his footwork as much as the others.
He used all of it though, Mo. He used every single ounce of his ability. Like because I remember the conversation started with Cole Palmer and him, like the silkiness. I give Cole Palmer the silkiness, but in terms of actual skills and technical ability, for me,
let me do this. City in 5. I don't know what that means. I need to finish this.
That's an American reference.
I know
like
exactly
the playoffs,
what
you win in 5 games.
You win in 5. People are in for a shock with Wirtz. He's insane. We'll see.
Very good player. Very good player.
5 UEFA Champions League man of the match in a row. 2 times player of the year. Wirtz is carry. We'll see how it goes, Jack.
Very good player.
Jack, hold on.
That's why Liverpool are favorites to win the league.
No. That's why Liverpool must. They must.
They must.
He's all of this. Liverpool
Florian
must.
Wirtz must win a Ballon d'Or.
I'll say
No
this.
one
though.
can
If we
tell
get a
him.
striker, if we
I
get
agree
Andrew
with you.
Silla and we get a centre back, we
It
got.
doesn't matter. If you got Wirtz is carry, you already won the league, right? You already won the league.
You better win the Champions League next season.
If we get Stiller, striker, and a centre back, we'll win the Champions League and the Premier League.
All of this, if
I'd say you need to actually get the quad.
If City get Courtois and if City get Saliba, you know what I mean? I think it's guaranteed they win the league, bro.
Courtois, I don't think Courtois is the footwork for Pep.
By that logic, Sterling and Grealish are the best wingers in the league because they have won trophies. Emmanuel, I know you were behind in the show, but that is
I did not
Matthias'
agree with
argument.
Matthias on that, so don't let me into that.
But bigger people that are here, thank you so much. Actually, the Rams stand in the description, AA United in the description, Couch Critics is in the description as well. Of course, Couch's channel. Big up everyone that joined us. Hit that like button. Can I just do something before you talk? Before you go on, guys. I'm actually now up almost close to 34,000 subscribers. So I need your help. Let's get there. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow. How do you want to end the show? Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
All I'm going to say is this, right? Just remember, just think of these people. Next season, that 007 Hates Watch for Wirtz is going to be generational. It's going to feed the street. You better get penalty. You better get penalty in his first game, and he takes it and scores. Because the judge,
Mo Salah's definitely taking pens.
There's no
way. There's no way Wirtz is taking pens on Salah. You know, Mo ain't giving penalties to Wirtz. So
I'm just saying, you better get one because that 007 is good. Hate is going to be beautiful.
And if he gets a GA in the first game, then what?
Then his hate watch will be ruined.
My hate watch ruined. Exactly.
That's why I don't do hate watches. I just frankly don't care about him, so I'm probably not going to pay attention to it.
Anyways, Arsenal 5.
Guys, we'll see you guys next stream. We're out of here, people. This stream will take it to Osam. He's doing a Liverpool show. Go and support the guys. We're out of here, people.